Hi, my name is Jazmine, and I'm going to be a junior doctor in the UK, and this is Lepas Sekolah.
What was your ambition growing up?
So my ambition growing up, it might sound cliche, but I've always wanted to become a doctor.
Who or what inspired you to be a doctor?
I think I would say my dad. My dad is a cardiothoracic surgeon. He's still working. He's in his 50s and he's still working. He's really inspiring. People who have met my dad would know.
Which high school did you attend?
I attended Tunku Kurshiah College, TKC.
Why did you choose to go to TKC?
Well, I didn't really make the choice myself. I ikut je apa my parents cakap. I think it was one of the best schools, best boarding schools during that time. And I kind of agree.
What was the process like to apply to TKC?
I don't really remember, but I know that there was an interview. It's like a one whole day of you being in the school, wearing baju kurung and everything. And you have to go to multiple stations. In the stations, there will be like, I think, teachers who ask you a bunch of questions and they will give you like points. There's a card and yeah, they'll like rank you lah.
Were you at TKC for the whole 5 years, and while you were there, did you feel any pressure?
Yeah, I was there for the whole 5 years. Of course, I think the pressure was there. My main goal was to get straight A's, and for me, it was 9 A's because I took 9 subjects instead of 10. And of course, yes, the pressure was there to be among the best.
What about all girls schools make you feel empowered as a woman?
I think because I don't have to like conform to society's idea of like a high school girl, and I can be any kind of girl I want to be. So I think that kind of shaped me as a girl. And going out of school later, I akan rasa macam more confident because I punya character and personality is not conform to society's norm macam tu lah. I think PKC girls are special. I really appreciate that about PKC.
When you were in TKC, how was the bullying culture?
I know it's like a sensitive subject, but I think people should talk about it. Back in my time, bullying was still a thing. It wasn't physical though. It's like things like cari duit shilling RM100 untuk this one senior atau gosok baju. But then gosok baju is normal, but at that time you are rushing because you are a junior and you have to go to the dining hall and serve everyone, serve the seniors, serve your whole table. And then you have to iron baju at that specific time. So you're going to be late. So as a junior, you macam cannot say no. So I think that's quite tough also. And also like being scared of seniors, you have to memorize their names and give salam in a specific kind of way, which I rasa still ada, but not as teruk like as dulu lah. I think that sort of shaped me into a person as well. Not in a good way. I think that sort of contributed to my anger issues in the future. But Alhamdulillah now I think dah tak ada sangat. Still ada, but not as terrible lah.
Was physical bullying in TKC tolerated?
I don't think so. Back in my time, there weren't a lot of physical cases. I don't remember any even. And I think once something some physical come up, memang I think you will be expelled from the school.
What stream did you take for SPM?
I took the science stream. I think all of us had to take science stream. I think. So everybody had to take all those physics, chemistry, biology, but there was one additional subject you can take, which was accounting. So we actually had a like class first kali, we call like 40 or 5T. So that class memang kena ambil accounting lah, but I wasn't one of them because I wasn't interested in accounting at all. I had trouble with kunci kira-kira. It was terrible. I cried when I was in form 3 because my knee tak balance. So I macam So yeah, that was the story.
How did you prepare for SPM?
A lot of intensive classes with the whole batch, and like for example, like English, all our English teachers will be teaching the whole batch in the hall. So I think that was really helpful. But also studying with friends was really important. There was a lot of sleepless nights. Of course, it was difficult. It was tough, but we got through it.
What was the most difficult part about SPM?
I think everything about it was difficult. I'm going to be honest, I hated high school because I had to study things that I don't really like or understand. Everything was difficult, like physics, chemistry, and biology. I don't think I ever had an A. Even in SPM, I like A minus was barely passed, so alhamdulillah. So what I had to do was just go through it and memang hafal je everything and keep on doing like exercises. Memang ayat yang buat exercise until you muntah tu memang occurred lah.
How did you do for SPM?
Alhamdulillah, I got straight A's, but not straight A plus, and it's okay. I got 2 A plus, which was English and Mod Maths. Yeah, and all my sciences, unfortunately, which was physics, chemistry, biology, I got A minus. So that was a little bit difficult because most scholarships, the minimum requirement is higher. It's okay. Alhamdulillah, I got one.
Did you receive any scholarships after SPM?
I got Mara.
What is the scholarship requirement?
I couldn't remember much, but as I mentioned, memang A minus, at least A minus for sciences subject.
How did you prepare yourself for the scholarship application process?
I got help from my dad, Alhamdulillah. He helped me through most of the paperwork. But I remember there was an interview. It was like kind of a whole day juga lah. It was more of a team building camp like that. But there was only one station where we were interviewed by, I actually don't know who. But they just asked personal questions like, oh, why do you think we should accept you, and things like that, which I'm kind of terrible at. So if you have people who are really good at interviews, let them help you prepare.
Where did you take your pre-university?
I did 2 years in Kolej Banting,
What did you take for pre-university?
International Baccalaureate Diploma program. There was Malay, Maths, Chemistry, English, biology, and econs. For IB, for someone who hates doing assignments, this isn't for you. But I think it was easier for me rather than for me to push myself, work too hard to get the 4.0 CGPA. I'm not that smart. I mean, I have to work hard. So it was okay for me because we had, there were multiple assignments, like all subjects you have to do what we call IA, internal assessment. So that was difficult. Like for example, for chemistry, you have to like literally do a whole experiment on your own with your own research question. I'm not really creative, so that's hard. Like for maths also, you have to do a whole experiment or like something, and I'm terrible at maths, so that's kind of hard. But there was also an extended essay, what we call EE. That one, I'm sorry, but it was also hard. And I got a C, which was okay, which was the requirement to pass. So that was fine. And there's also an interesting subject you had to take, which was theory of knowledge. That was really complicated because I didn't, even until the end, it was kind of difficult for me to get a grasp of the whole subject, because it's literally you questioning existence. The teachers there are very helpful. I mean, the teachers are the only thing that keeps me there because they are very supportive and positive all the time.
What was the full marks for IB and what was the requirement set by Mara?
Okay. The full mark was 45, and I actually know a senior who got 45 out of 45, which is amazing. But the Mara requirement was actually to get 36 and above. So 36 and above, you can fly. So it's either to do a training program, or if you got 40 out of 45, 40 and above, you can do a 5-year program there, but only at specific universities, like the 3 universities, like Trinity College Dublin, UCC, which is University of Cork, or University of Galway.
And this is specific to medicine, right?
Yeah, specific to medicine.
Where do you attend university?
RSCI, which stands for Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland.
What was the requirement for IB at RCSI?
So for those who got 36 and above, it was either RCSI or UCD. So UCD is University College Dublin. I mean, you can't really choose, I think. We had an interview, and during the interview, they actually asked you, which university do you want? So RCSI or UCD? And I actually said RCSI, so I think it's just a coincidence.
Why did you choose RCSI?
I guess because the promotion of RCSI was really attractive, and I have seniors there as well. So of course I asked them, to compare UCD and RCSI for me. If you like the campus life, UCD is for you. But because RCSI only has 2 buildings, we call it the old building and the new building. But it's still interesting because you have gyms, you have courts, you have like multiple lecture theaters. And in our new building, there's also actually Starbucks. So back in my time, Starbucks was popular, right? In the uni, it was discounted. So you actually get like 20 or 10% cheaper. So that was nice. Yeah, but like I said, if you want the campus life, UCD is for you, because RCSI is specific for medical students. So I think they were more focused on medical things. So all the events and everything were very medical. But for UCD, they have like arts people there. So it was really interesting as well. I mean, you can make lots of friends from different degrees.
How was it settling into RCSI?
Settling was okay because we had seniors, so they were a huge help.
When you went over, Brexit was still happening, and there was a lot of concern surrounding Islamophobia and possible hate towards Asians. How was your experience?
I have never experienced anything personally, but I know there was a time when we were having classes, and suddenly there was like news that okay, all Muslims and like students just stay at home. And this was email from our university actually. They were saying that there were Asians attacked in the park by like Masali kids. So they were actually like throwing rocks and they had like bottles, right? So sometimes they would smash the bottle and they used to threaten you, like go back to your country and things like that. It happens, but not as often because I think the Irish are quite nice.
Did TKC help you settle into university?
Definitely, it did help a lot. I'm more independent and I'm less of a crybaby. Back in boarding school, I used to cry like I think every day. I memang banyak kali, banyak occasion I memang call my parents. I say I want to quit. Until form 3, even form 4, form 5, I was still crying. But when I went to Ireland, that was because that was a whole new experience and I was going with close friends. So that was really fun and I barely cried. During the first year in RSCI, it was quite like an easy year because the subjects were very quite easy and everyone was still settling down and learning to adapt to the new place. So I think that was a really chill year.
How was medical school like, and did you have to take any specific subjects of your choosing, or was everything generalized?
Medical school was fun personally because I really love anatomy, specifically also because it was really interesting. Like you were learning everything on, I'm sorry, but a dead body. Really eye opening for me. There was no subjects that anyone can choose specifically or anything. Everybody had to take the same thing.
Did you ever feel nauseous while dissecting the cadavers?
Yes, often actually, because I didn't have breakfast that morning, so memang akan nauseous all the time. But there was this one time when we were dissecting, I think the shoulder part. So I was beside my friend, and when he was dissecting, everybody was moving, and then suddenly he stopped. He froze. Apparently, because a piece of fat flew onto his face, and it was like here, and he was like, "Guys, help me!" And we were like, no. So even our anatomy teacher had to like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, go and wash your face and everything. So that was a really nauseous moment for me because he was beside me. It could have been me.
What are cadavers, and do you ever get spooked out by it?
Okay, so cadavers are basically dead bodies. Their families donate their body for teaching. So often we would have like moment of silence for all our first patients. So these are our first patients. They actually had like a list up on the board, like their names and their cause of death. So that was really, thank you to the families. It's really helpful because I know not a lot of countries have the opportunity to have actually like one body for about 10 students. Sometimes I do get spooked out by cadavers, and sometimes I wouldn't go into a cadaver into the anatomy room alone. We were also always advised to bring a friend. I don't know why, and I don't want to find out why.
What measures of respect do we take for the cadavers?
So, okay, for the cadavers, we actually call them silent mentors because their bodies are the ones teaching us actually. So we learn from them a lot. Back in Ireland, for us students at that time, we only had like a moment of silence where we just stand, a sign of respect for the bodies. But in Malaysia, I know there are like silent mentor programs where they actually do home visits. I think to, of course, thank the family for donating the body of their family member, which I find really good. It's a good thing to do because, people are donating their family member for you to learn from. So that's a huge thing that I think all countries should do as well.
What is the general pathway of a med student after med school?
If you want to work in Malaysia, you will have to apply for housemanship. So there's a bunch of things that you have to do. Just follow the steps in their website. If you want to work in the UK, because my university, we are exempted from actually doing the PLUB exam. PLUB is like an entrance exam for international graduates. So if you want to go to UK, you have to take that plug. But now I think they changed it to UKMLA. They want to kind of do it like USMLE, which is for the US. So yeah, and after you pass that and your IELTS, you will get an intern job in the UK as a junior doctor.
What is the requirement for IELTS?
You kena dapat 7.5 for each component. So you have listening, reading, speaking, and writing. So for me, I applied with my friends in 2023. So I should be graduating in 2024, right? So I applied in 2023, but I didn't pass because I didn't get 7.5 for writing. And it was near the deadline, so I didn't manage to retake the exam. So I didn't get to go to the UK, which was fine.
How did you study to eventually get a 7.5 or higher for IELTS writing?
I obviously asked my friends how they passed, and they actually, some of them bought practice modules from the internet, which I kind of completed. ChatGPT was a huge help because I gave them the question and they wrote down the whole essay for me, and I just learn from that. I don't copy, I just try to learn from that and try to memorize as much points as I can. I watch a lot of YouTubes about IELTS to practice speaking and also writing especially. So I actually spent a few weeks to intensively do the practice modules, and Alhamdulillah eventually I got a 7.5.
What do you do in your gap year?
So actually, the gap year was not intentional. I did because I didn't pass the IELTS, so I had to wait to apply the following year for the UK. So they call it UKFPO Foundation Program. During this 1 year gap, I actually had a lot of things done. Number one, I retook my IELTS and actually passed this time. And I also took a surgical entrance exam because I want to be a surgeon. So you can already, okay, so there's this exam called MRCS. So MRCS is actually an exam, like it's a membership where you have to pass to become a surgeon. So the first part, which is part A, is a theoretical exam. So it's 5 hours long, split into 3 hours, break and 2 hours. 1 minute per question. It was a 3 month preparation for me. So that was a long time. I studied for the whole 3 months and actually took an exam with my friend. And Alhamdulillah, I passed. So I think that was a really good use of my time. And I think whoever out there who wants to become a surgeon, and I mean, as soon as after you graduate, you can already apply for the Part A exam. I volunteered with National Cancer Society Malaysia. We went to many vaccination programs and jejak cancer programs, which actually helped me get more in touch with the community, which was really fun. And I get paid some money as well, so that was nice. But yeah, so I'm actually using most of my time now while waiting for my intern job in August, just relaxing and just spending time with friends and family, because I'm going to be working for the rest of my life. So I think I kind of need this one year gap, so it's kind of a blessing in disguise.
Where will you be working in the UK?
I'll be going to Nottingham. I chose that place because solely because of my friends. Some of my close friends are there.
What do you plan to specialize in?
I'm not really sure yet, but as long as I'm a surgeon. But for now, I'm looking into ENT, so ear, nose, and throat. It's kind of interesting for me. Just I'm not really sure if I would like it because I've never had the chance to work in an ENT ward environment or something like that. But I did have like 2 weeks attachment, but I don't think that was enough.
You've been away from home since 13. You went to TKC and you've been away ever since. How does that make you feel? Do you have any regrets?
I actually don't have any regrets. I don't believe in like regrets because I think that every experience made you who you are today. And I'm kind of happy with who I am today. I'm a more grateful person than I was before because, been away from my family so much. So it makes you kind of cherish those moments with your family more, especially during Raya or any events where you guys gather together. Like they say, distance makes the heart grow fonder. So, kind of true. I am Jasmine, and this is my journey in Lepas Sekolah.